What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about R&B singer Ginuwine. Ginuwine is getting pushed back because he is 55 years old and he is in a relationship with a woman by the name of Jeanette. She is a realtor. She's a realtor, in Miami. Not sure how they met, but they went public with their relationship. And there are people that have some things to say because he's engaged to her. Now, Ginuwine, not only is people giving him pushback because of the age difference, he's 55 and she's 28, but he was actually married before, which is very interesting. He was married to another artist by the name of Soleil. They were married for a number of years, but they divorced over 10 years ago. So he has every right to move on with his life and date other women. But I think people are taken aback by the fact that, he is dating a woman so significantly younger than him. You gotta understand, he made a song back in 2001 called Differences. And that was about 25 years ago. She would have been like 3. And that's what people are they're giving it the side eye, right? And also because they claim that he's trying to find a Soleil lookalike, right? Even though I think they're both of different ethnicities. But be that as it may, Ginuwine is a guy who, again, he was married before and he left that marriage and divorced and hopped into another marriage over 10 years later. I always found that to be very interesting, how you go through marriage with somebody and then you divorce them and then you proceed to want to get married again. I always found it interesting because now you're marrying or seeking to marry a woman who is significantly younger than you. I always question these marriages because does she at 28 years old, now she's a Miami realtor, okay? She's a Miami realtor. And is she truly ready to settle down at 28? Now, maybe it's because, you can look at her, maybe her family structure. She is a Latina. Maybe she comes from a background of having, 2-parent household and maybe she wants that. But does she really want that? Or is it a situation where she wants to be with Ginuwine and he doesn't want to lose her, so he gets engaged? I think that's why these guys get engaged to these women, is because they don't want that woman to leave them. So by getting engaged to them, they feel like they can hold on to the woman more, right? Because they believe all women want marriage. I think a lot of women like the idea of marriage, but I don't think most women really truly want what comes with marriage, because what comes with marriage is expectations. And those expectations is that, you're not out here dealing with other men, maybe more so in a professional capacity, but not necessarily in any type of personal one. Now let's get into this article here. The R&B artist Ginuwine, age 55, is reportedly engaged to Miami real estate agent Jeanette, age 28, according to TMZ. According to Jeanette, Ginuwine proposed to her in Washington, D.C., which is his hometown, a few weeks ago, and she happily agreed. Jeanette reported they were both ecstatic and in love. Both Jeanette and Ginuwine met in South Florida a few years back, and they maintained their relationship privately, occasionally sharing some things on Instagram. Oh, of course, the vague posting. A date for their wedding has not been revealed yet. Previously, Ginuwine was married to rapper Soleil from 2003 to 2015. So that's about 12 years of marriage. Both Ginuwine and Soleil have a friendly relationship despite their divorce and are raising their children together. I mean, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. My thing is this, he was really in love with Soleil. Like that was genuine love between those two. And now he is with this younger female. I don't know. Like, she's a Miami realtor. And again, apparently she said they met a couple of years ago. So they probably met when she was around 25 and he was about 52. Listen, I have no problem with it. They're two grown adults. I'm not listening because people are going to listen to this and say, well, do you have a problem with them dating? No, because they're both adults. But the thing is the marriage component. Do you really need to marry her? I understand that, maybe that's where he is again, but he went through that. Like, you went through the marriage, you went through the divorce. Do you really want to go down that road again? And apparently he does. That's my only thing about this, is that do you really need to marry her to prove any type of love? Obviously he proposed because he liked her, he's into her, but he doesn't want her to walk away from a relationship, right? Because if you feel like you are secure in your relationship with her, would you really propose to her? Would you propose marriage to her? I just think that marriage is outdated. I really do. And again, these are two adults. I have no problem with them dating each other. They're two adults. But the marriage component is the thing that I don't know if she's going to go through with it. That's the thing. I've seen this story before. I've seen where, these guys propose to a woman who's significantly younger than them, but the marriage just never happened because that woman is going to be looking for a way out. And again, shout out to Ginuwine. I hope it works out for him. But to me, I don't see why marriage would be something that he would want again after the divorce that he went through with Soleil. I just don't know why you would want to marry, especially a woman who is a Miami realtor. You know what I'm saying? You heard the stories about these female realtors, man. And again, they've been dating for a couple of years and maybe he's okay with what's going on, but would he really be once because they say there's no date scheduled, right? He's 55. There's no date scheduled, which means they're in no rush. So if you're not really in a rush to get married, why get engaged? And again, there are people who have an issue with this. There's a lot of women who are who are Ginuwine's age, who feel like he could be dating them. I think they're the ones who are the most upset about that. I have no problem with them dating her. My problem is the getting married again after you went through a whole divorce, especially years later after the fact, right? But there's a lot of women who feel like Ginuwine should be with them and not this particular female. There's a lot of women in their 40s and 50s who, they want to compete with younger women to get the attention of the Ginuwines of the world, when Ginuwine has no interest in dating older women or women his age. And I think a lot of those women are angry about that. They feel like Ginuwine should be with them. They feel like Ginuwine should not be wasting his time, quote unquote, with a younger woman. And that is why I think they're the ones who are the most angry. Listen, I hope it works out for Ginuwine. I really do. I hope this works out for him. This will be his second try at marriage. So I hope it works out for him. He feels like she's the one, and I hope it works out. But there's a lot of women who have wasted their lives, who are now in their 40s and 50s, and they looking to settle down, and they see a man like Ginuwine who overlooks them for a woman who is still in her prime. And they're angry about that because they feel like it's a trend, and it is. Older men want nothing to do with older women. They want them a young, attractive, upwardly mobile female, right? Who they can have fun with, who are not stuck in their ways, who are not jaded, who are not broken and bitter like a lot of these older women are, which is why they're out here getting BBLs, which is why they're out there getting sleeve tattoos, trying to relive their youth, right? Because they're trying to compete with women like this for the attention of Ginuwine. But once you tell a man your age, Okay. And once he talks to you, he's not going to be interested in you. He's going to be interested in a woman like Jeanette. And that's what's pissing these women off. These women don't want Ginuwine dating Jeanette or marrying Jeanette. My only issue is the whole marriage piece. But they don't want Ginuwine dealing with her at all. They think that men like Ginuwine, because Ginuwine is in his 50s, he should be dating a woman in her 50s or 40s, right? He should be with women like them. But a lot of older women who have wasted their lives chasing dysfunctional men, right? Ignoring advice. Now all of a sudden they want to give advice. And their advice is they think something is wrong with the 55-year-old Ginuwine not only dating a 28-year-old, but also being engaged to marry her. They think something is wrong with that. But this is why you have to, especially a lot of these women out here, they have got to stop trying to live vicariously through other people. And I think that is a fatal flaw of a lot of women of today. They try to live vicariously through others. Ginuwine has no interest in dating a lot of you women that are upset. You know, instead of y'all choosing good men when you had the chance, you ignored them. You curved them. You disrespected them. And you chased men who didn't want anything really to do with you outside of sleeping with you and wasting your time. And then you realize you're in your 40s and 50s, and now you expect older men to now embrace you, and they're embracing younger women. And that's not going to change anytime soon. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video, share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I'll see y'all next one.